Ocean Gate, Island Heights, anyone who's out there watching. Mr. L back for another video. Back in Ocean Gate today. It's Monday, so I'm back here in Ocean Gate School. Some of you might see this on a Monday, some of you might see this on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Alright? It's important that if you have questions and things like that, you ask me in the Google Classroom, or you can email me, that's fine. If it is assigned for a certain day, make sure you are going in and looking at all the assignments for that day. I have some people who are missing, who are answering questions in just the comments, and just make sure we're putting our answers in the correct spots. I know it's hard, we're working through it together. Do your best job just as you always do for me, and I'll keep doing my best job for you. All right, so today we're gonna work on a couple different skills, and we're gonna review a few skills. Today we're gonna work on walking backwards, sliding, galloping. All right, galloping, sliding, and walking backwards, and then I wanna throw in skipping and hopping, because a lot of people said they had a little bit of trouble with skipping and hopping. Remember, when we do any of these PE videos, make sure you are in a safe place that you can jump, slide, jog, do whatever you have to do. Make sure it's in a safe place. We don't want mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle knowing that we're not in a safe place and we bump into something like that. All right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over, well, let's review first. We'll do skipping and hopping. So remember, when we skip, it's, oh, there's no circle back there. You didn't see it. When we skip, it's step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. All right, I'll do it again. It's step, hop. Notice I jump, I hop and land on the same foot. This leg is still up in the air. Then I take a step, hop, I jump and land on the same foot. Step, hop, up and down on the same foot. Step, hop, step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. All right, it's important that you step and then hop. Step, hop, step, hop. And remember, hopping is jumping up and down on one foot. Step, hop, hop, step, hop. Very simple. All right, some of you might think it's hard, and I get it, I make it look very easy. I've been doing this a very long time, so it makes it look very easy, but I understand it is not easy. Work at it. Work at it. These are the things you need to know so we can build two different things. All right, so that's skipping, review. Hopping, one foot, and you push off and land on the same foot. Whoa, almost lost my balance there. But it's okay, I made it. You bend your leg, push off, and land on the same foot. All right, that's a hop. Hopping, I'm gonna switch feet. You bend your knee, push off, and land on the same foot. All right, if you lose your balance and put your foot down, that's fine. I don't need you to work on, oh my goodness, staying there forever. All right. Push off, jump, land on one foot. Oh, see, I went forward a little too far, so I had to put my foot down. That's okay. I don't expect you to be great, have perfect balance every time you do this. All right? Just put that foot down, catch yourself down so you don't fall and get hurt, and then do it again. Push off. Woo. Bend that leg, push off. Remember, you can see my knee is bent when I land. I push off, knee is bent. Oh, lost my balance a little there. All right, so those are the reviewed ones. Skipping and hopping are the reviewed ones because it seemed like a lot of us had a little bit of trouble with both of those. Those are the most we had trouble with. So I just wanted you to go over them again and make sure that you felt comfortable with them. All right, so now we're going to move on to sliding, galloping, which is tough, and walking backwards, which is easy for some of us. Some of it's a little tough. All right, so we're going to move on to sliding. Sliding is when you are moving sideways and your body stays sideways. So when you're sliding, it's a step together, step together, step together. All right, notice I'm not bringing my feet next to each other. I am not crossing my feet. When you slide, you see some boys and girls clicking their heels. That's not what sliding is. All right? It is a step next to each other, not together, next to each other with some space. Step next to each other with some space. Step next to each other. 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 All right, so now I'm just going to move in front of the circles. And when you slide, it's going to be slide. Slide. See, my feet don't come. I bend my knees. My feet don't touch each other. Slide. Slide. All right, I'm going to go back. I want you to next to each other. So you're balanced. If you get too close, if your feet get too close and they touch each other, you could tip over, you could trip and fall. We don't want any of that. All right? So when you slide, it's step together, step next to. Also, you don't want to cross your feet because you could kick your foot and fall. We don't want anybody falling and getting hurt. So sliding is slide, slide. See how my feet don't touch? My feet don't touch, they just go next to each other. There's still some space in between when we slide. All right? There's still some space in between there while we slide. All right, so now we're going to gallop. Galloping is a very tough concept for some boys and girls because they want to kick their foot, they want to do something crazy. All right, so when you gallop, one foot stays in front the entire time. All right, you go heel toe and step. All right, it's a step and drag your foot behind. Step forward, drag your foot behind. Step forward, drag your foot behind. I'm going to switch feet. So one foot stays in front the whole time. Step forward, drag behind. Step forward, drag behind. Step forward, drag behind. All right? So it's important that you step forward and then drag behind. Step forward, drag behind. Step forward, drag behind. I am not kicking my heels. I'm not doing this. I'm not kicking it. It's not what you want to do. I am not crossing my feet over. Right now, this foot stays in front the entire time. I should never be crossing it over with the back foot. The back foot stays in the back, the front foot stays in front. Step, drag behind. Step, drag behind. Step, drag behind. Step, drag behind. It's like a little dance. Step, drag behind. Step, drag behind. But it's a gallop. All right? This is what galloping looks like. So I know I went through those kind of quick. If you have any questions about those two, do not hesitate to ask in your Google Classroom, email, whatever you got to do. We'll review them again next time. Don't worry, we're not done. We're going to review those a couple more times just to make sure we have them. All right? Now, walking backwards is one of the ones that everybody's like, oh, it's so easy, I can do it. But there's so many boys and girls who do it unsafely or fall because they're not paying attention or things like that. So when you walk backwards, and when you walk forwards, you go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. When you walk backwards, it is an absolute reverse of what you are supposed to do. So it is toe first, then heel. 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 I have too many boys and girls that go heel first, and they go too fast and they almost fall down. When you are walking backwards, it is toes down first, then your heel. Toes 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 first, then your heel. Also, when you are walking backwards, it is of the utmost importance, it is super duper important to watch my shoulder, watch my head. I am looking over my shoulder as I walk backwards to make sure no one is behind me or nothing. Some of you might have different stuff in the house. Walk back as you look over your shoulder this way. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. All right? So those are 3 more locomotor movements that we are using in gym, in physical education. These are our base skills. If we can do these, we can do anything. So I want you to keep practicing them, all right? So I'm going to give you a little game to play with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, brother, sister. When we're in the gym, it's called hula hoop road trip, but when we're at home, it's just called road trip, all right? I want you to practice moving in an area using different locomotor movements. You can do it by yourself. If you're outside by yourself, you can do it. Just call out just say to yourself in your head, or you can even call it out loud, that's okay. Different movements to do, all right? I'm gonna give you the directions of the game in your Google Classrooms so you can play it. But when we play hula hoop road trip in class, we're gonna call it road trip. I give different ideas. I don't say skipping, I say speed bumps is skipping, or mud on the tires is jumping, or passing a horse and you have to gallop. So what I want you to do is just play that game with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, whoever, and try to just work on your movements as best you can. And when you're doing that game, don't just work on the movements you know you're good at. Throw in all of the movements so you know you are practicing them all. I'm gonna do a little bit of the game right now, just to show you what it'll look like. I don't have a huge space to do it, but I'll keep moving around to make sure, and I'll keep calling different things. All right, so when we do road trip, I usually start with yellow light. Yellow light means walking. So you can see me walking around. You can go any way you want. This is yellow light. Yellow light is walking. Red light means stop. So when you put someone in charge of the game, when they say red light, it means stop moving. And you say yellow light, you're walking. All right? Now, I always use ice on the road. When there's ice on the road, your car sometimes might slide. So you say ice on the road and you slide around. You slide till someone changes the direction. And they say, yellow light. Okay, we're walking now. We're walking now. It's not just, they say ice on the road, you go back to sliding. You go back to sliding till they say something else. Red light, oh, you stop. And then they say, oh, speed bumps. Speed bumps are skipping, so you skip around all over different ways. Yellow light, we just walk. Ice on the road, we slide. Speed bumps, we skip. All right, that's just a basic idea. That's just a basic idea of the game. The directions will be in your Google Classrooms. So whoever reads your Google Classrooms, your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, you can have them look at the directions and play the game with you. It's kind of like follow the leader, All right? And just keep working on your skills. Please keep working on your locomotor skills. It's so important. All right? That's it for today. Stay healthy, be active.